Hey there, gamers. DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking about PlayStation versus Xbox, but sort of an update because a couple days ago, I think it was on Saturday, Sony had a statement that came out where they said that the future of PlayStation is multi-platform. They basically said we're trying to build a dedicated team of developers that are going to put stuff not just on PlayStation, but on PC, on Nintendo Switch 2, and also on the Xbox. And this was met with an incredible amount of backlash. People saying they're going to boycott the PlayStation 6. I've seen personally, I've seen hundreds of posts of people saying they're selling their PlayStation 5 and jump into PC. But I want to talk today because Sony just posted a response. They did an official response to the hatred, and they're basically telling fans to just eat it. Now, I want to talk about this because I think I'm still super fascinated about the idea of PlayStation specifically trying the multi-platform approach because historically, right now, PlayStation 5 is very, very much in the lead. This entire console generation, they've been absolutely just steamrolling. Month after month, quarter after quarter, they've been setting record-breaking sales. But now, suddenly they've thought, okay, how can we be more profitable? Sony has talked about the fact that this console generation has actually been the most profitable time ever in PlayStation history. They have made more money on just the PlayStation 5 than they did on the 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Literally every other PlayStation combined has not made as much as the PS5, despite the fact that Sony isn't really releasing that many first-party games. There are almost no PlayStation exclusives, but everybody's buying a PlayStation. So is putting those games on Xbox really going to make extra revenue? Let's break it all down and take a look at a lot of angry replies, because honestly, I find this fascinating. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do want to quickly say, I talked about the surgery I had on Monday where they screwed more stuff into my jaw. A lot of people have been leaving me nice comments. Honestly, the pain isn't that bad. It's mostly just weird. Having all the bolts and stuff in my jaw, it doesn't hurt. It just feels weird to feel bolts in your jaw. Anyways, okay. Fans against multi-platform games email Sony and get an official response. Now, before anything else, before we do this, let's actually take a look at the reply itself. A lot of memes, but this is it. While we continue to explore new ways to grow and evolve the gaming ecosystem, we're committed to preserving the unique identity that PlayStation represents. As we have in the past, we'll listen to your feedback from our community, including valued players like you, and ensure our decisions are aligned with the experiences you expect. Essentially, what they're basically saying is like, look, I like this. PlayStation gives the perfect politician's answer while saying they're going multi-platform. I do think this is it. I do think they're basically saying, the real debate now is how much is it going to be? Is it just going to be live service games? Is it going to be Spider-Man? Is it going to be Astrobot? How much is it going to be? We really don't actually know. Now, this is my thing, is that some of the best PlayStation exclusives that we've gotten for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, a lot of them weren't even made by PlayStation. Stuff like this, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, this first moment of looking up at the plate, of exploring a fully 3D realized Midgar, this stuff was incredible. And I feel like this sold a lot of PlayStation 4s and sold a lot of PlayStation 5s. The fact that this is now third party, you're about to be able to buy this on an Xbox. We'll see how many Xbox people actually buy it. My theory is less than 100,000 sales. But I still think that the idea that this is no longer an exclusive, to me, signals the fact that, honestly, PlayStation is not as scared about locking stuff down as they've been historically. I wanted to talk about this. For the people that are trying to claim this isn't a big deal, that PlayStation fans aren't freaking out, I did see a lot of stuff like this. If true, I'll never buy a PlayStation ever again. I'll stick to my PC, or I'll focus on Nintendo. I can't believe they don't understand the basics of exclusives sell systems, not specs. Seeing them throw everything away for a quick buck is insane. Look at this. Literally, I have seen so many things like this. Zubitech is a very, very big, one of the biggest PlayStation fan accounts on Twitter. Call me a fanboy, whatever. No PlayStation IP should be on Xbox, period. If they want to erode their loyal fan base, let them. I can't accept that. Sorry, keep up the great work. Now, to me, the big debate I feel like people are having is not just which games are going to go to Xbox, not just which games are going first, because some stuff like coming up at the end of August is going to be Helldivers 2, which, again, not a first-party game. That's a second-party game. It was a game made for the PlayStation, funded by PlayStation, but not by a PlayStation studio. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff like this, where people are saying, okay, what happens if PlayStation releases stuff that's not just live service? Obviously, Helldivers 2, a lot of the games that made the jump first from Xbox over to PlayStation, games like Sea of Thieves, games like Grounded, big live service games, right? I think that they are, in a way, trying to try that first. Okay, let's put some live service games onto Xbox. Let's put Marathon. Let's put Destiny expansions. Let's put stuff like that to see how it sells. Helldivers 2, let's see how much money that makes. But I am seeing stuff like this. Now, to be fair, the Red Dragon is a massive troll fanboy account, but I did want to show this tweet here. No one is buying an Xbox to buy PlayStation games. People buy a PlayStation because it's the only place you can play all PlayStation hits and Xbox games. Don't get it twisted. Sony said years ago live service games, how they're going to be treated differently and multi-platform. A lot of people, though, are basically saying this is just going to be a tiny segment of it. We've had multiple financial reports where basically PlayStation has said that the whole idea for the future of PlayStation, and I've made videos hitting on this, PlayStation really wants a live service hit. They want their Fortnite. Everybody's trying to get that infinite Fortnite money, but let's face it, nobody's making a Fortnite. Fortnite's not even got as many players as they used to have, right? I do think that this is also part of it. This is the sales chart for the top selling games on PlayStation. These are the best selling games on PlayStation for the entirety of, let's see here, from April to June. And look at it. The top selling games on PlayStation. Forza, which is a Microsoft game. Elder Scrolls, which they confirmed Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered sold 9 million copies. Absolutely insane numbers. Truly, truly insane. You cannot give that company enough credit. Black Ops, that's an Xbox game. Doom the Dark Ages, Indiana Jones, Minecraft. The amount of this chart here that's owned by Xbox. My thing is that I believe that Sony is taking the wrong lesson for this. I think Sony is taking the lesson that if they go multi-platform, they'll instantly have this amount of success on the Xbox. But my thing here is that I honestly just don't believe that Xbox people buy games. I mean, it just doesn't seem to. If you look at the games at the top of the sales charts on Xbox and then look at them on the full top 20 selling games, it's never even there. Typically, the highest selling game on Xbox is like number 45 on top selling games multi-platform. Maybe I'll get proven wrong, but maybe there will be a lot of Xbox people where they say, hey, here's Spider-Man remastered. It's $40. If that actually sells enough to chart, I will truly, truly, truly be impressed. But a lot of people are sort of just laughing at this. Destin Legary just saying LOL. A lot of people are saying a corporation doesn't want money from as many people as they can get. If they can get people to buy their plastic box, they'll go to me. This just reminds me of Xbox. It's just 4 games to calm down the fan base, and here we are today. I think that's an important thing to keep in mind because it is recent history. It only happened the beginning of last year. Phil Spencer, the king of lies himself, the head of Xbox, came out and said it's just 4 games. We're only putting 4 games on PlayStation. It's not the whole slate. Don't tell me this or that. It's only 4 games. And that was an absolute lie. Phil Spencer looked directly into the camera and lied to the fans. And a lot of fans honestly seem pissed. I've personally seen a lot of people that straight up sold their Xbox because of the just 4 games lie, and now they're PC gamers. You know, congrats to them. But I do think that this, to me, has that same vibe. I do think that if PlayStation starts putting everything multi-platform, I hope they're more transparent than Xbox was. I hope they straight up say multi-platform games are going to be live service stuff first. After that, maybe we'll see. Okay, multi-platform stuff is going to be first-party exclusives after 2 years. Now that it's been 2 years, we can put Spider-Man there. We can put God of War there. And if they're successful, we'll see how it does. I kind of have a feeling that the sales have been surprisingly fantastic for a lot of games as they went to PC. Games like Returnal sold pretty dang well for especially how tiny that budget was. God of War, I think they said something like 7 million copies on PC. Last of Us on PC. These games are selling really well for basically no additional work. They even bought a studio called Nixxes, Nixxes. This is a company that is inside of PlayStation that just works on ports, and they're fantastic. If you've not played PlayStation games on PC, they are insane. They run extremely good. They a lot of times have ultra-wide support. They have some of the best HDR technology, which makes sense because Sony sells HDR monitors. PlayStation games on PC are primo peak. But my thing is that I'm wondering if Xbox, they're seeing that as their next PC avenue. They go, okay, we took our existing games and we put them on PC and we made buckets of money. What happens after that? Oh, let's go to Xbox. Maybe we can make that amount of money again. And I don't think they're going to get the same result. I do think that Xbox is going to keep throwing everything on PlayStation. There's talks that 2 more games coming out next year, probably going to be Gears of War E-Day. There's a lot more stuff coming from Xbox to PlayStation. The idea of Xbox exclusives is gone, but I guess the real question here that I'm curious about is twofold. How many Xbox people end up buying PlayStation games? I think that's an interesting number that I'm very fascinated about. I cannot wait to report on that. And also, will we see PlayStation sales decrease? That's the real question, right? Sony has been very, very clear. Their number one concern is, will we keep topping the charts with the PlayStation 5? Will PlayStation sales go down when there's no longer technically exclusives? Even if there's a big delay, even if there's like a 2-year gap, will people see PlayStation differently? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. You can get a PC.